Welcome back to the So Over It podcast
with Enya and Jordan.
And Jordan and Enya.
Hello and welcome back to our
podcast.
Very loyal listeners and any new listeners that are tuning in.
Hi guys.
We hope the word is spreading.
Spreading like chlamydia.
Spreading like our man's legs.
Oh Jesus.
Sorry, John.
Good night. My man's dead.
I'm sorry. I completely forgot.
Spreading like me man on our back. Spread out, you man. Laid out.
Laid out.
What have you been up to anyway?
I have just been taken away with clients in the gym, and then I had my Dundalk show the weekend up in the Spirit Store. So if there's anyone from Dundalk listening and they were there,
I'd love
thanks for attending. I had a great time. You should see the room, right? It's literally like a sitting room.
Tell me all about it.
But you'd wedge about 180 people into it, like.
Right.
It's like Anne Frank's attic, yeah.
It's like Anne Frank. Oh my
Anne Frank's
God.
attic, yeah. But like
Nice
it's
and
real,
homely.
It's real nice and homey, and like the audience were brilliant. And when it's in a room that small, like the laughter is just like 10 times louder.
Yeah, so it gives you a buzz.
Yeah, compared to like the weekend and the Red Cow, it was a bit more civil. You know, people weren't as boisterous, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Boisterous.
Right. Big words.
But yeah, it was good. And do you know what? There's always that like sense of relief when you're driving home from a gig and you're like, right, home to relax now.
Oh, your brother just followed the So Over podcast.
Did he?
Yeah. What's the crack, fellow? How many fucking following now?
I have a twin brother, and being a twin was very rare where I grew up because I live in a council estate, and twins were like seen as like a freak show. Like me and him used to be very, very like,
Really?
yeah.
I'm obsessed with twins.
No, we used to be very badly bullied in school. Me and my brother.
Fuck
Oh Jesus!
off.
And yeah, very badly bullied. They used to corner us, right? And they used to like, you know, I'm not messing. They used to corner us in the schoolyard. They used to gang up around us and they used to point at us like, "Ha, you have the same dad."
That is the most council estate thing I ever heard in
Yeah, I
all my
know.
life. Like,
You have
honestly,
the same
I
dad.
used to remember, like, I'd have so many questions for my friends who had a man and a dad. I'd be like, what's that like?
What's that like?
What's that like? Do you know when people have mas and
Did
dads?
you
I
not
used
have
to be
any male people to look up to in your life?
Ken.
Ken?
Barbie and Ken. I'm only messing.
Right.
Yeah, no, I had
don't
like
know how you haven't been to, like...
therapy. I have multiple times.
Right, well, you'd want to fucking get a second opinion there.
I don't think you can get
Looking
a
up to a
second opinion on-
fucking plastic doll.
That's life for living. What's wrong? Me? Am I like too far away? Oh, the two of us were too far away, Ryan said.
Right, so we're going to move a little bit closer to the mic.
Hello.
So we're a little bit more enhanced.
Right.
So you didn't have any male characters in your life?
Characters?
Well, you know,
Figures.
figures, characters, potato. Well, or should I say
Yeah,
figures
like,
in your case,
none,
yeah.
none that stayed around for too long, basically, if I can put it
Right.
that way.
Right.
Anyways, moving on.
was a bit deep,
I
yeah.
know. I have put up on the So Over Instagram about embarrassing stories, right? So I said that we could go on and have a look and talk about other people's embarrassing stories, but why not share our most embarrassing stories first, and then we can have a laugh at ourselves.
Right. Do you want to go first? Or will
Do you
I?
want me to go first or do you want to go first?
You go first.
Alright. Well, my embarrassing story is basically I went to the Aran Islands. I don't know if I ever talked about this on here before, but it was fucking life changing. I went to the Aran Islands, and when you go to the Aran Islands you have to get a boat from Galway, I think it is, to the Aran Islands. And we went in the middle of like October while it was like storm fucking trees outside. Do you remember that one? And because it's like on the Atlantic, they get a force, you know what I mean? So do you ever see the way the weather was always crazy in Cork and all, like that's what it was like, and it was wild, and we decided to go on a fucking boat, and I'm not messing you, right? We were on the boat and the boat was literally going like that, and I decided to, so I wouldn't feel seasick, I wanted to go out to the back of the boat and have a smoke, but we were locked at this stage, like drunk.
Sure, that didn't help things.
And I don't know what made me get up from my seat to walk to the back of the boat, but I did it anyway, and I fell. And as I was walking, the boat went like that, and I fell onto a woman who was like Asian, I'm assuming, and she was having a newborn baby, and I fell into her lap, like my nose and the newborn baby's nose was touching like that, and she was literally like, it like that. And I was like, oh my god, and my jacket went up over me back, and my fucking whole arse was out. I was so embarrassed. Literally everyone was looking at me, and to top it off, there was a fucking dead person in a coffin on the other side, and I just kept saying, thank god I wasn't on the fucking coffin.
What's this, a fucking coffin ship?
Yeah, obviously, because it's a small island, you have to get shipped, do you know what I mean? So the coffin had to be brought back over to the island to get buried. Yeah, it was like something out of a film. And then I got up and walked again, and I fell again, and I stood on a fucking dog's paw, and the dog was like like, oh, it was. And I swear to god, I went out and had that smoke, and I didn't go back in from the rest of the trip. I stood out holding the railings like this. I was out in the middle
I'm
of
not
the storm.
even surprised that happened to you. That reminds me, did you ever see that clip on This Morning with Holly and Phil, and like Mr. Wobbly walks into the room and like literally whacks off every table inside?
Oh, do you know Alison when she falls off the island and pushes?
Yeah.
That's me. Yeah, literally.
Fucking traumatized.
I'm not messing you. I was so embarrassed. I was like, I can't go out. Like, I never will walk out in front of them people again. I waited until everyone exited the boat, like till I got off that boat. It was so funny, but I wasn't in the moment.
All the paps waiting for you.
Literally, yeah, on the Aran Islands. So, what was your embarrassing story?
So, I was in my early 20s and I went to acting school in town, and we used to sometimes go out for a drink afterwards, like in the evening, because it was an evening school. And there was a place across the road from us called Crowbar. It's actually in Temple Bar.
Yeah, I heard of that, yeah.
Yeah, so we went there, and I had about 5 or 6 drinks. Now, I made the mistake of not going to the toilet before I went to get my bus, right? Mm-hmm. So I get the bus, and I'm sitting there, and I'm fucking bursting to go, right? Absolutely bursting. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to get off and go somewhere. Like I literally, like, I'm gonna go myself. So I got to about Inchicore, right? So if you live in Dublin, you know where Inchicore is. It's about like halfway between my house and where the bus stopped. And town, yeah. And literally got off, right, and there was a pub. I knew what pub I was gonna go into to go to the toilet, and I went in. I forget the name of it. It's across from Inchicore College.
Oh yeah, the little red one.
Yeah.
Beside the funeral home.
Yeah.
Why am I obsessed with funeral homes?
I got off the bus and went in there, but the pub was absolutely empty, right? And I'm too shy to ask. So I was like, it's not as if it's packed and I can just kind of like slip into the toilet without anybody seeing. He would have literally, like, there was just a barman standing
just
behind the bar.
You, like.
He would have just watched me walk into the toilet and walk out. And you know the way sometimes like you have to buy something.
Yeah.
So I got halfway through, right, and I just made up this mad story. I goes, did a girl with a purple scarf walk into that toilet, right? And he goes, does it look like someone just had to walk in there with a purple scarf in the height of summer, right? I was like, alright. So I walked back out. I was like, right, I can't go back in there now and ask, can I use the toilet? So I stood at, there was a bus stop, the bus stop that I got off at, right? I was going to have to get another bus home, and I needed to go that bad, right? It was dark out at this stage, right? Stop. So I had a pair of black leggings on, and I just stood against the wall, and I was looking to see if anyone was approaching, because they would have just seen a big stream of piss running down the path, right?
Oh, did you bend down?
No, I just stood there and went.
In yourself?
Yeah, I had to go.
Fuck
and
off.
It was going for ages. I was like, oh my god. It was like the River Nile going.
Why didn't you just like pop a cheek out and squat a bit?
Because it was cars going by.
Fuck it, it's better than pissing yourself.
I literally stood there, right, and people are walking by, and I'm standing there, right,
absolutely drenching yourself.
Yeah, and there's like a stream of piss, right, and I goes, I'm gonna have to walk away from this spot because people are gonna see, like, is she out there pissing herself?
And then come here and to me this, did you get on the bus and sit down?
Yeah. I got onto the bus, right, like nobody could see anything, thank God. So I sat on the bus in soaking wet leggings, right,
Reeking
and I was
of a wet nappy.
all I kept thinking was, I hope like an old person doesn't sit down on this chair when I get up.
No.
It was upstairs, but
blame on them, I would have.
Always blame on them.
Poor Anne's after wetting herself again.
So I always say never trust bus seats, because you just don't know what's fucking on them.
Do you ever bang a bus seat and see the dust?
I know, yeah, you were saying it the last time, but that's what, and no one was with me, so you know, it probably would have been funnier if someone was with me, but.
And this is all a lie, and you made up a lie. But yeah, like I've had so many like funny toilet stories that like I couldn't even talk about them. Like when I was a kid, we were in do you know the Rose Gardens at the back of the GAA in Ballyfermot? I went there, and me and my friend needed to have a shit. Like he was like an expert, and he just always shit outside. So like he had a shit in the park, and I like did it, but I went on myself a little bit, and I literally had to like clean myself up and sit on the bus fucking reeking of shite the whole way home. Oh gas.
That's probably one of my biggest fears. It's not being able to control it.
like you were saying, like I used to have real bad anxiety going to college all the time, so I'm not messing you. Like I'd be going to college or coming home and I'd have to go to the toilet, but I didn't give a fuck. I'd walk into Chase's, I'd walk into that pub you were in, because I was in Inchicore College. I'd be like, sorry, I have to go to the toilet. I didn't give a fuck. You have to go.
Fucking leave a hole in the ground after you.
You can make a when we first met. Right, so people put down funny little ones and they're quick and easy. So someone said, slip down the stairs on the bus and shopping bag bus, groceries fell over the whole aisle. That is embarrassing. I'd die.
Do you ever see when you're walking up the stairs in a bus and it's going around a roundabout and you're like, fuck
holding
me.
on to everything.
It's just what a G-force must feel like.
And there's nothing worse when you have loads of bags and you have to hold the railings. Like, I'll get walking down them stairs.
It's like a circus trick.
If I have loads and loads of bags, I just wouldn't sit upstairs.
No, you're making life difficult for yourself.
No, I haven't been on the bus in years.
There was a time we used to be able to leave your bags downstairs and trust that they were going to be there when you came back down.
That is an out and out lie. Not in Great Northern anyway. Yeah, on the like 51B or something. Someone said, thought the paper knickers you get for a spray tan was to protect your hair, and she put them on her head. Now, like you went in, flaps out, and got a spray tan, like, and put the knickers on your head.
See, I'd be very practical and I'd be like, look at the shape it is. They look like a uterus.
A uterus?
Yeah.
What the fuck's that?
So a uterus is when a man and a woman has sex and a man inseminates.
Someone said they got so drunk at their cousin's weddings and they joined in on the bride and groom's first dance. I'm scared for you.
Oh
like,
my god.
They must have hated you for the rest of their lives for that. Like,
and there was a videographer as well. Like,
I'd hope to God someone pulled you down. Like,
yeah, like, come on, it's not your day. This is my moment as well.
Oh no, like that. Oh, cringe. God love it.
Imagine Ed Sheeran thinking out loud. When your legs don't work like they used to before.
I can't even say it. Someone said they used to work in pennies and said thank you for shopping at Tesco over the tannoy.
No way.
Thank you for working at
I'd love to get a hold of one of those tannoys and just start saying random shit like.
I know, yeah. Enya, clean up in aisle 2. I just pissed myself.
Yeah.
Someone said you got sick on a bus and someone shouted, that smells like shy.
Oh, there's nothing worse than when someone, like, I remember when I went on multiple school trips and there was actually this one time we were in the summer project and
remember that?
Yeah, like if you came from the council, so you know what summer project is. The government basically used to give communities money because basically, man,
fuck all to do in the summer.
Yeah, there was nothing to do. Like, so what happened was we went to, I think, Skerries. Do you remember Skerries? And there was like a little theme park. Now when I say theme park, I mean like the Walters, right?
It's not Fantasia, like.
No,
that's Bettystown, isn't it?
It's just a few carnival rides. Like, I mean like an arcade, like, and whatever else. But
lots.
We were coming home and like it was one of them double decker buses, you know, from the bleeding 1980s that they turned into a fucking coach.
Yeah.
But there was like 6 of us sitting up the top of the bus. We were out there all day. And we were coming home and they all kept saying, I get travel sickness. No way, so do I. So they all just started getting sick into a bag and passing it around to each other.
Yeah.
So it'd be like you getting sick into a Dunnes Stores bag and then pass to someone and then they're seeing the sick in it and they're getting sick. It was fucking horrible.
It does be like a chain effect though, doesn't it? Sometimes if you see someone getting sick, like, it can just knock onto you like dominoes.
Do you know I have emetophobia?
Is that like afraid of people getting sick?
Yeah, a fear like I'll be able to get sick, no bother, but if I see someone else getting sick, I get terrified. I swear to God.
Well, you're a fair play to you. Help me. That time in the fucking alley of the George.
Oh yeah, well that's because I was locked.
Rubbing me back on. One more, go on.
But like one more for luck.
Oh, and I was literally ramming me fingers down my fucking like stomach to get it out. I was like, ugh. Someone said they went on a cruise but drank too much and went sleepwalking with just a bra on.
Yeah,
and then there's a part 2. Got found by security 2 floors up, pissing in a bin, and stopped getting off the boat the next day. Oh my God! And got stopped. That is the moment, isn't it?
Oh, like that's a sign that like you must love to binge drink, but oh sure, look, we've all been there. I remember.
Wait, there's a part 3.
What?
To make sure I didn't get spiked, so embarrassing. Even the security were laughing at me.
I actually remember, this is actually embarrassing now that I look back, and like probably one of my lowest points when I used to live with my ma. Sometimes Gary used to come back with me after a night out and I was absolutely gay-eyed, right? and I said, I need to go to the toilet. And he goes, and you put your fucking house coat on, will you? I only have a pair of knickers on. I was like, I need to go to the toilet. And he kept standing in the way of the door.
Yeah, did he wear out like?
Oh, everything. Like, I only had a pair of knickers on. He's like, he goes, I'm not sending you out to the toilet dressed like that. Your ma could walk upstairs and she wouldn't know what was fucking going on. Yeah, she like, I might finally get me grandchild. But anyway, so we wouldn't move out of the way of the door, right? So I pulled out the plastic bin from the wall. There was no bag in it. And I just kept going. And he's looking at me. And he's looking at me in horror. And he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, you wouldn't move out of the way of the door. And you could just hear it hitting the plastic. What is it with me and piss?
Oh, well, shit happens literally. Someone said, kid in sports can't push shit on my face. Had to walk into the hall where everyone plus my crush was.
What happened?
Sorry, he needs to get arrested. He pushed shit on your face. What do you mean? What did he do? Just like stick it in his knickers and wipe it on your top lip? No, good night.
What the fuck?
He needs to be. Kids are weird. Like, I was only talking about, you know, some people who are now like, they're just freaks, or like, you can tell they're just evil people.
Yeah.
What were they like as kids? Like Jeffrey Dahmer kids, like cutting up cats.
A footballer actually got arrested this week. No, he wasn't arrested. He was like nearly cancelled, and he probably will be. I think he was charged. I'm not too sure. He has cats, right? 2 cats, and he literally he took a video of himself booting them and like hitting it across the face. And
oh my god!
And he donates to animal charities. And he goes, we love them very much. What the fuck did you record yourself for, like booting a cat for? I don't care how much you hate cats. It's still an animal at the end of the day.
On Halloween, like, remember it was the thing, I don't know if you're like, if you used to do this, but when you're from council estates, it's literally like your goal as like little kids to find a fucking cat and stick a banger up their arse. Like,
John, no,
I'm not
right,
laughing,
like,
but it's vile. Like, that is disgusting.
Like, that's they're like, fucking murderers.
Thinking back how sadistic that is, like, that is vile. Like, imagine, like, no, that takes a whole new meaning to a black cat.
And you know what? You know you're from a council estate where you don't let your fucking animals leave the gaff on Halloween.
100%.
Can't be fucking trusted.
Someone said a girl broke up with me while we were walking through town and I ate door off the footpath. Okay.
I usually go home and cry into a pillow.
Yeah, but like whatever you're into.
Ate the doors off
the footpath. Whatever you're into, son. Hang on.
I usually order a pizza and put on about 10 stone.
He's like, fuck this shit, they're breaking up me. I'm going to find a nice stone to suck. Someone said, guys, I only found the pot. Oh, the wrong one. Hang on. Oh, wait. Oopsie, I did a poopsie. When my baby was a few weeks old, I was standing on a packed bus and I looked down onto the floor and there was my breast pad. It had fallen out of my bra onto the ground on the bus. Everyone was looking at me as they walked past. As they had to get off, I wanted to cry. So what, like your breast pad, like what?
I think a breast pad basically either stops from leaking, and then as well, like, it can be quite sore, like, you know.
Yeah, but like, if a girl's breast pad fell off, I'd be like, here, hon, I'd pick it up for her. I wouldn't look at her and
what
be like, you sick pig. And be like,
what if she was wearing a skirt and her sanitary towel fell off?
Like, well, I wouldn't pick up a fucking sanitary towel. Like, I think there's a difference between breast milk. Like, I drink breast milk before I'd fucking pick up a
one of your blood plugs at the front.
A vampire's tea bag.
I seen another kid calling us something else. I forget what it was, but I forget what the name was, but it was very funny. I'll have to think of it. It'll come back to me.
Well, when you think of that, come back to me.
Yeah, I will.
Was so used to saying bye bye, love you on calls to partners. A parent that I said it onto the phone to oh my god, I'm not having a stroke, to a recruiter when she was organising an interview for me. Still cringe when I think about it.
Bye bye, love you.
So she was on an interview and she said bye, love you.
My dad used to do that when he used to ring up curry shops. He'd be order and he'd be like bye love you.
Bye, love you, bye.
But on purpose.
Do you know what's the fucking worst? When I answer the phone, obviously because I have a quite feminine voice, if I rang from a chipper and I'd be like, yeah, love, no, that's not bad, I love. And I'd be like, love? What do you mean? Or like, even when I answer the door to some people, I
want to negotiate now, Webby.
Yeah, when I answer the door to some people, they'd be like, right, that's 12.60 when you're ready to love. I'd be like, do I look like a love to you? Fuck's sake, don't gender me.
And don't forget it.
Yeah, don't gender me, you pox. Yeah, so that's it for well, that I can think of. That's it for the so embarrassing stories.
Oh, I can't get over that.
Was funny now.
Me, so I just started
doors, fair play to you. So Enya wanted to talk about our love for charity shops.
Yeah. Actually, do you know what? Where we record the podcast is above a charity shop.
Not giving any names or anything like that, innit?
But no, I put up a post on me Insta stories there the other day. My ma lived across the road from a charity shop as well, St Vincent de Paul, and there was a communion dress and communion suit display in the window, and she goes, "Enya, will you put that up in your story? Like they're trying to just like advertise like that they're selling dresses and suits." And I goes, "Yeah, no bother, because when I was young, my dress was second hand. I wore my ma's friend's daughter's dress.
Right.
She made it a couple of weeks before me, and like back then it was like you were ashamed to tell people it was second hand.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, it's kids. Like I think parents would understand, or would they? I don't know, but like it was all kind of like quite hush hush back then. But the amount of people who reached out to me when I said on my stories, I goes, "Look, there's St Vincent de Paul are selling lovely communion dresses. Mine one was second hand, it was fab." And they goes, "Oh, so was mine."
Yeah.
And like loads of people, and they goes, "You wouldn't even know the difference. We ma saved a fortune." And then someone else goes, "We need more of this, Enya. We need more like advertising that
At
it's
the end of the day,
normal."
a dress is a dress. Like.
A dress is a dress. And you know what? I think the people, like, look, tell me I'm wrong, I think the people who love going out spending thousands or hundreds on a
Just
communion
showing
dress
off.
want to tell people how much they
Yeah,
paid for
exactly.
it. And it's not about the kid, it's about them, like.
They're all like sheep as well. Half of them, they all
Yeah.
look the fucking same.
My
I'd rather
dad's
have me
dress
child.
was €70 from TK Maxx.
There you go, Bob's our uncle.
Do you know what I mean? It was
Fanny
like, you know, it was highlighter pink, like, but like,
That was the style back
Did the
then.
job,
I
yeah.
look like the fucking Prince of Halloween Town on my dabs. Big emo. Yeah, like, no, I agree with you, because at the end of the day, like, we lived in a disadvantaged area for a reason. Like, our parents, they didn't fucking have it. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, like, there was a reason for it. Like, not to say, like, I like got loads of help off the Vincent de Paul. There was one time, like, my nanny got a washing machine off them and all.
you were saying that before,
And I went to the Sunshine House. That was the Vincent de Paul ran like holiday, like a summer
is that
camp
where they're
thing.
now?
I went there. I only went because all my friends were gone. Do you know what I mean? But like then I came home 4 days later crying. I was like, that was like torture. Never bring me there again.
But to think about it though, like back then, you know, it's kids as well. It's kids that are little slagging bastards. Like, your clothes
Yeah,
are
but if
second
they're all
hand.
doing it, it's alright. You can do it. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But what I find funny is if you're in dancing or anything like that, all them costumes are second hand. Like one gets made and then it gets passed around till it literally falls apart. Like
It's glad
because they're so expensive.
it's mad when you grow older. Like look at Depop and all like that.
Yeah,
People selling their
exactly.
clothes. You don't
It's
give
the
a
exact
fuck.
same thing, yeah. Like that communion dress could have been like designed and £800 for that, and then you wore it and your ma only bought it for half of the price. Do you know what I mean? It's
Exactly,
still,
and
regardless,
it's
it's still an £800 dress. Like
That's like going into a car shop buying a brand new car. The minute you leave the place, it's already at the drop in 2 or 3
second hand
grand.
all the way. Fuck it.
Like even I found growing up in secondary school now, when I didn't have a job, I was only in school, like my ma used to always buy me second hand clothes, and like I'd only have like 4 or 5 good outfits, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they wouldn't have holes in the brand like that. I wasn't like that, but like some of the clothes she used to get me like were gorgeous, like some of the runners and all, some of the clothes, and like I look back now and it actually makes you appreciate money so much more, because when you're going out and you're buying your own outfits, and I'm like, oh my god, like I remember I used to have to live out like this hoodie or live out this top and stuff like
Yeah.
that, you know? Like it does make you appreciate it. And look, there's nothing wrong with still fucking doing it now.
Exactly, yeah. And I always makes me think, fair play to like your ma's that like what my nanny had like fucking 2 jobs, and like she like took on her own grandchild, and like my nanny was done rearing a kid, you know what I mean? And she decided to take me on and fucking do it all again on her own.
know.
So fair play to her. Like
I know.
I just get real emotional.
It's a
thinking about
role
it.
you didn't like kind of ask for, you know,
But she
like
still
volunteered for.
stepped up and did it. Like, so fair play. How do you feel about the Oscars? Did you feel like anyone got snubbed?
To be honest, like you're gonna have to fill me in on that. I just know that film Belfast got a good few.
I went to see that last night.
Yeah, what was it like?
Like it was good. I felt like it was basically like about the start of the Troubles, but because it was like 12A, the PG rating was like 12A. So
There was nothing too grim in it.
yeah, there was nothing too grim. It was very light-hearted. Like it wasn't too, I felt like they should have really gotten a bit more gritty with it, like, and showed the proper real struggles that the families were going through right at the start of it, because it's set in 1969 Belfast, and it's from the point of view of like a Protestant family that aren't pro-Protestant or pro-Catholic. They're just staying even, and they're getting judged because they're not standing up for the Protestants. But I kind of love that it's like up the Ra vibes. Do you know what I mean?
Up the Ra vibes, yeah. Like I actually went to Belfast. That's where my next show is, actually the 4th and 5th of March, and I went up there just for a weekend away with Gary. And we got a black taxi tour, and it brings you all the areas where most of the Troubles were. They show you the big wall. It's like I think 30 kilometres long, if not longer. And you're just like thinking to yourself, Jesus Christ, like they used to throw petrol bombs over it and all. They had to make it so high where people couldn't throw shit over.
So in that film, like Protestants and Catholics all live on the same road, and they get on, and then like all the Protestants in the neighbourhood were like, Catholics out, and like because you were a Catholic, like they were bombing your gaff, like literally fucking petrol bombs in your gaff, like just, and kids, and they didn't care. Like
they used to have like, imagine like a housing estate, and they used to have like a gated housing estate, so like the gates would close at like say 8 o'clock.
And like they check when you're going to shop and come back, like they have to write it on it. It's wild.
So cars can't get in and like run amok and all. Like it reminds you a bit of a fucking concentration camp. Like
it's mad, and it's crazy to think that that's all just down to religion. Like it's so funny how like, not so funny, but it's just mad how religion at one point ran this country. You know what I mean? It was like the priest and the church had such a power and a say over
that was down to
government.
Education though, like lack of education
over government. Like,
sure. I was at mass on Sunday. I know that sounds mad, but no, because Garrett's brother's anniversary, 2-year anniversary, and we went there because he was just getting his name mentioned, and the priest was saying that like he hopes that like married men can eventually become priests and married women can become nuns or whatever, because he goes like, the church is doomed. Like, it's dying out. Like
maybe it needs.
You're only going to get like elderly people that want to be like, you know, and if you allow married people to enter into the church, like to be a priest, you're kind of like, I suppose, not limiting the audience then.
I'm not religious whatsoever. Like I actually don't consider myself to be a Catholic or anything like that. I wouldn't say I'm an atheist, but I do, like, I'm more spiritual than I'm religious.
Yeah.
Definitely believe in like a higher power, like there's a reason why we're here, all that, but like I don't believe in like God or Jesus sitting in the clouds, you know what I mean?
Sure, a lot of like addiction
they always like
believe in a higher
yeah.
power and all like that.
No, but like I hate that when someone like gets like whatever gets you through it, like if that's what's getting you clean, fair play, but I just don't get when people like find Jesus all of a sudden that like it helped you get clean. Like no, you helped yourself get clean, not fucking God. Like
born again Christians.
Look, that's another story for another day. So with the Oscars, like I don't know, like it's not giving me the vibes.
I don't know, I haven't, to be honest, like look at fucking COVID, like it's been very hard to even see like major films that have stood out.
Yeah,
you know,
Lady Gaga got snubbed. She didn't get nominated for House Gucci.
I haven't seen that yet. Have you seen it?
No, I just think she sounds like fucking Dracula.
Yeah.
Tell me, are you an ethical person? Yes. Fuck off. Go back to singing Poker Face.
More of the vampire.
And then the Brits. The only thing like about the Brits I saw was Anne-Marie absolutely breaking her ankle.
What are you saying? The stage is cursed.
That stage is cursed. Madonna fucking got reefed over, and then didn't you say that John McCall?
Is she the one that got pulled off stage in her cape?
Yeah, that was Madonna.
Oh my god.
Singing "Living for Love" and she got reefed. Oh god, she was like living for.
Pulled into
got
next
absolutely
week.
Took off. Yeah.
No, I seen Adele's performance, but you know what, right? I'd say the people who bought tickets for her Vegas residency are fuming looking at her at the Brits. I heard there was loads of speculation though. It was about her having trouble with her fella, like that's why I didn't go ahead.
Our new fella?
Yeah, Rich Hall, is that his name? And she was meant to be wearing an engagement ring as well at the Brits.
Yeah, you never know like what bullshit happens. Like
I love our song I Drink Wine. It just reminds you of like stop thinking about yourself all the time, like you know, or stop like beating yourself up. I
actually have that album and I haven't listened to it.
Really?
Like,
That's
I don't know. I have no. I bought the album on my phone and supported that.
LimeWire all the way.
LimeWire, remember that fucking virus?
I know, yeah.
Just literally download bleeding fucking
cascade every time we touch and you fucking a porno comes up on the screen.
So when you're watching a movie illegally, like I was with my little niece and she was like 8 at the time, like clicking in to watch a film, like I think we were watching fucking Barbie and the Princess or whatever, and a big fucking arse sitting on a bleeding willy just like, and I'm like oh to the child and she's like what's that, and I'm
very
like
graphic.
and then trying to fucking click off the ad and all you hear is horny for you, big cocks in your area, and I'm like oh god.
It's very vile. You
like,
wouldn't want to be a prude.
I know, yeah.
Nanny, wait and I show you this.
Or even like you were saying, like watching like Euphoria or like Sex and the City, and like people are getting so desensitized to things, like because I literally, you're just watching Sex and the City and all you hear is and like my sister would be like, what are you watching? I'd be like, Euphoria, don't come into my room, Mom. Do you know what I mean? Like people would actually think you're in there whacking one off and you're just watching Euphoria or something.
That's what I'd be afraid of. Or do you know what, like when I used to stay in my ma's, when I'd hear someone walk up the stairs and I'd be watching like the likes of Sex and the City,
lower it down.
No, I just pause it and like, or else if I heard someone approaching my door I just turn off the telly. I mean, I'd be like, what are you doing staring at the wall?
No, I don't give a fuck. Like, if you walk in,
I know.
at least they know.
But when I was younger, like when we were all watching like something together, my dad used to fast forward like, oh no, these are the dirty bits.
No way.
I think that's how people end up being prudes.
Like my nanny used to do this, have this routine, right? She would have like 3 or 4 hours to herself downstairs, so like I had to go upstairs at like 9 o'clock, right? No, but she'd have a glass of wine or a smoke. I would, where's my nanny sitting there peddling herself over? Yeah, knacker. My nanny's dead. Don't ever say that again. I'm only messing. But I'd be sitting upstairs and like I had free reign to tell you whatever I want. So my favourite shows to watch were like Sex and the City.
What age?
Like queer, like it's. I wouldn't have said about 8 or 9. No, Queer as Folk and all. Yeah, Sex and the City, Queer as Folk, the L Word. Like I used to watch all of that. Like, and I never forget when Samantha used to be like, why have one dick when my girlfriend has 10 dicks? Or like, you know, she'd be like, you need to give head to get head. Like, and I'd be like walking to school, like, and they'd be talking about like giving head or whatever, and I'd be like, yeah, but you need to give head to get head. And I would just be like, why? I'd be like, I learned that at Sex and the City. Or like when I was a kid, from watching all them shows, like I knew everything. Like I knew what a rainbow and all was. Do you know what a rainbow is? I don't know if it's too explicit, but it's basically like when you give an oral, but you're on that time of the month.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
No, sorry, I'm off limits for 4 days a month. Not a
like
chance.
Yeah, but like rainbowing is a thing, so isn't that wild?
I don't remember really watching any of that. Like
as a kid.
Yeah.
No, I watched like Friends and Buffy and Sex and the City all while it was on the telly.
So you went from 0 to 100.
Yeah, well, like Friends when Buffy was during the day and Sex and the City was my time at night with my glass of wine.
My glass of wine, fucking bottle of fruit juice.
Yeah, me apple like now. This is apple juice. It's not vodka.
Yeah, I know. We believe you. Red Bull.
Or is it?
Red Bull and vodka.
And speaking of Sex and the City and just like that, the last episode.
Did you watch the final episode?
Yeah, I did.
I heard a lot of people saying like the last episode actually
very
made
good
up.
Yeah, it wrapped in like all what you were kind of missing for it. So the last like 10 minutes of the episode was just giving you all you wanted.
That's what I heard.
It was good, yeah.
But they obviously had to reshoot the final scene because Mr. Big was supposed to be in
No, they
it.
didn't reshoot it. It wasn't the final scene that she sees him in. It's a dream sequence. She goes to sleep, and sorry for spoilers, she goes to sleep, and because her light keeps flickering and she thinks it's big, that it's like telling her not to date or whatever, and she goes to sleep, and in the dream she sees him, but you could see the bit when you cut him out because you could hear his voice but you can't see him, and she looks and does the whole pan to the camera, and you don't see him, but then she tells the girl she sees him in the dream the next day, and she knows where to bring his ashes. It's in Paris. And then, spoiler alert as well, she texts Samantha and goes for a cocktail with Samantha, but it's all off camera.
What does she say?
She's in Paris and Samantha's in London, so she says, hey, I'm in Paris, do you want to meet for a cocktail? And Samantha texts back and says, how's tomorrow? And Carrie says, fabulous.
But she came out, Sarah Jessica Parker came out and said she won't she's not going to be...
After all that, it's too much. Like.
She goes, after all, like, the public history where, like, basically Kim Cattrall was like, I don't need your sympathy when our brother died. No, like, she, like, literally did degrade her. Like, SJP didn't say anything about her in public.
You never know what was done behind the scenes. You never know.
I know, but, like, you know, anyone who has, like... That's the only negative encounter I've heard about SJP, like... I think that it wasn't there supposed to be a third film and Kim Cattrall wasn't getting her needs met or something like that.
Yeah, with the production with HBO or whatever like that, she wasn't getting stuff she wanted greenlit.
So she obviously wanted like to go down a different road with the character.
No, like she wanted her product, like her productions to come, like whatever she else wanted to do other than Sex and the City, she wanted to bring that to the HBO, to the production company, and they wouldn't greenlight it. So she was like, right, well then I'm not doing what you want me to do. And bowed out. So apparently she never wanted to do Sex and the City 2, but the conditions met.
I think Sex and the City 2 was a waste. I think they should have just left it with the first film. I didn't really like number 2.
I liked number 2. I thought it was funny. I loved the bit. She was like, condoms,
yeah,
yes, I like to fuck. Anyways, what's your next topic? Your 10 things. Enya has this little segment and we'll edit in. Do the sound now.
It's top 10 things. No, it's actually top 10 with N. I love it.
Yeah.
It's top 10 with N.
Yeah.
So this week it's top 10 things we remember about Bebo. So if you're a Bebo
the best
stunner.
website ever.
So number 1, Share the Love. Do you remember sharing the love on Bebo? Like, I don't know what it was. Like, it was just like a form of currency, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Those love hearts.
Or like it was blackmail as well. Hey yo, you didn't fucking share the love with me. Give me your love now. Or like if you had the 3 loves sitting there during the day, you'd have to be like, right, I have to get them away before like the day ends.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Or else it's a wasted opportunity.
We want Bebo, Ryan? Yeah. Okay.
I remember you weren't on it?
I was, yeah.
Oh, right. But I remember when I started texting Garrett, it was on bebo. We used to give each other like 1,000 kisses, right? It was gas. WB, what's up? 1,000 kisses.
Right back.
I used to be so offended when I see him give his love heart to someone else, and this was only in the texting phase. I was like, who the fuck is she?
Do you remember I used to go on to like who is she?
Where did you find her?
I used to go onto people's page. Remember when you had the comments and you could read everyone's message, like there was no private. There was private messaging, wasn't there?
Yeah, you could mail people, yeah.
Yeah, and then do you remember like all the clubs and all you used to be in? Like I used to be in like Meteor 085, like Where's Maddie McCann, like I Love Emos and all. Like do you remember all them? Like, and then Do Me Blog and all. Like, do you piss with the right flap or the left flap left? Do you like do this, do that? Like mad stuff on Bebo.
That's like, I remember like there used to be pages just set up for like top 16 friends, right?
Yeah.
So like there used to be pages set up like with just an arrow as the picture, and you would like send a friend request to them.
Yeah, and you add them into the group, like, yeah.
You put them as number 2 in your top 16, so it's pointing to your friend, like, she's my best friend. So cringy.
Like, I remember in my bio, like, I used to be like, love hanging around with the boys, Tomo, Baba, Cam, like, all this, like, naming them all, like.
And if you're like capital letter, lowercase, capital letter, lowercase.
Or like, who's over the half? Was Garrett your over the half? Like, that's when you knew it was official.
Yeah, he was.
Over the half.
And I had a good few other halves, like, you know, fellas that I used to fancy in school and all, and we'd start chatting and stuff.
Be the other half?
Yeah, actually cringe looking back now and think like, oh my god, secondhand embarrassment. Like I used to have it, like we'll probably come up to it now, but this is now this is the next one, the other half of me. No, but you remember like with the top 16, just to go back, like if you were moved down one, you'd be like,
to be more there.
It'd be like getting cut from the family tree.
Yeah, literally, that's how you know you were friends with someone, if they took you out of the top 16.
Oh yeah, you like, or gradually it slowly start making your way down, like to the final 16, and then you just be out.
Do you remember Skins?
It was like passive aggressive. Yeah, we'll probably come up to that now, I'd say.
Go on.
So the other half of me, that was the other one. Marriages have been entered into with less thought by some, while others hooked up and dumped quicker than the page could refresh on dial-up. There was always one girl who gushed about her other half the second they cheered her first sloppy kiss out the back of a teenage disco, then quietly dumped him 3 days later, only to repeat the pattern the following weekend. Best friends were always the safe choice. They were, weren't they?
Yeah. I think it'd be a bit tacky, like, to be putting someone you actually liked in your top 16. It was like the person you liked was your other half and your friends were your top 16.
I think it was like a rebound thing. So like if you were trying to piss the fella off that you liked or that you were fighting with, you get someone else to be your other half.
Yeah.
Garrett,
I never had another half.
Did you not?
Isn't that sad? No.
Well, you've had plenty of partners anyway, so I don't think.
What are you calling me?
Other half. Yeah, if you were a girl, you'd be a slut. But
I couldn't even finish that sentence. Normally I have a very funny reply to that one, but I can't say it on here.
What was I going to say? But yeah, like Garrett was one of these, right? If you dumped me as your other half once, I'm never accepting it. Yeah. Like I think I dumped
Garrett took it very seriously.
Yeah. And then he had this other girl as his other half then, but they were actually just friends, like, and he still is friends with her to this day. And I was like, I'm with you. Why is she your other half?
What was the crack with, like, you'd go onto someone's page, right? Do you remember when the skins used to, like, move and all, and then all you hear is, you're my cupcake gumdrop?
Yeah, and you're like, how did you do that?
Yeah, in your flashbox. Robbed cars and all.
Quizzes.
Oh,
the
quizzes. Jimmy quiz on my blog. I love that.
Like, and there used to be mad questions like, what's my favourite drink? Wicked. And all, you're only 14.
How do I know? No, it's not Karen, it's Pepsi. Like, fuck off. Yeah, there'd be pure line smearing off ice with a dash of fucking hose. Cop on, like.
But you could do automated ones where Bebo would make up the questions and they were mad cringy. Like, what was the first album I bought?
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
Britney
so
Spears.
cringy.
No, Spice Girls.
The About Me section. Some people used to go to town on that. Love Me Girl. I was loved chilling with
that
me.
length?
Yeah, like a bio, like literally a biography. Describing yourself through the movies and music you liked. Yeah, because you used to be able to put music that you liked and movies that you liked.
Groups you're in, yeah. And then you'd have like your, like, now people you may know would pop up because of the things you're in, like.
And then like Happiest When, remember that was one, and you and people used to fill it in with song lyrics.
Or people would say riding. Do you know, people would be like, when I'm riding.
Yeah, do you remember there was a fella on it, right? I'll just say his name off mic.
Yeah.
Do you remember him?
Yeah.
He was like mad famous in Dublin, like.
Or do you know that fella from...
Yeah.
Do you remember him? Everyone was mad about him. Like, and I look at him and be like, now.
Like, there was
you big sad old man.
Did I say off camera or off mic? I think I said off camera. Well, I went like that anyway.
Ryan will let it out, won't you?
Yeah. But like, they were like spicers for lifers. and then it
Oh
ended
my
up-
god, yeah. Do you remember like when people were like they were like influencers before?
'Cause of
like,
their hair.
do you remember Spicy Riley? Do you remember him? Spicy Riley coming back at ya. Remember him?
No.
He's a fella named Adam, but like me and all my friends were obsessed with him. Like he literally, I think it was like right in the Facebook from Bebo Facebook shift, and he was like the original Bebo stunner, but he was fucking gas. The things he used to do, like
I'm
he was a
trying to remember
spicer. Like the spicers were mad.
But that's where it all came from, like
Hang around the carpo.
the trends from social media started. Remember people used to like dyeing the end of their mullet and all, like?
Yeah, because it was like I think MySpace, the emo era. Like I never had a MySpace, did you?
Yeah, but like
No, I didn't even have to
barely,
use it.
yeah,
I was aware
didn't
if it
know how
wasn't
to
Bebo, I
use it.
didn't like it. I still don't get Twitter.
I only
I
go on
went-
Twitter to like see, like catch up on news and stuff
No,
like
I
that.
don't even have a Twitter. I just think it's mad. But yeah, like I think the whole MySpace era bled into like us, and we had that like half emo, half like spicer vibe thing.
Yeah.
And then like yeah, I had a mullet, but like I have curly hair, so like I just look like a big redneck with a big curly mullet, and like I dyed.
Some people like just
I dyed my fringe purple, but like if everyone would be putting Brill cream in their hair, like, and it'd look massive and they'd be straightening their hair up. I had curly hair. Mine would just fall back. I look like a Karen.
you look like a hillbilly.
I look like a Karen with a mullet.
like a redneck.
Yeah, literally.
But you remember like the GHD
It's
brought
time
out
for a
straighteners for
hillbilly
men
moment.
because of the
Yeah,
mullets.
the little one. Yeah, I remember your friend used to have one of them.
Yeah, I
and
know.
Tony and Guy shampoo. I swear to God, every time I smell that, I think of him.
The whiteboard on Bebo. Do you remember I used to have a little whiteboard and
No.
people were able to draw pictures on it?
No,
Yeah, swear to God.
I don't remember that.
Like how much time do people have in their hands to be like sitting
Oh,
here
but, like,
drawing on your whiteboards?
Do you remember when you didn't like years ago on your phone, like you didn't have like you'd have the Bebo, but it wouldn't like loud proper. It would literally just be words. Remember, like when you used to have credit on your phone and you'd look at Bebo. So you used to have to go into I used to have to go into the centre, pay €2, sit on the computer for an hour and a bit, and remember like sign
When
in
you
and
went
all.
on holidays with your
Yeah,
family,
like
like
internet cafes and all. Like go into the centre and sit on Bebo and then like log out and all. Do you remember? I remember I thought I left the me computer logged in, and people were like gonna hack me Bebo. The drama.
when you think back then though, Jordan, like that €2, yeah, it got you half an hour, but that's all you'd spend on it because your phone didn't have it. And now like your phone just doesn't leave your
Yeah.
hand and you're on social media constantly. Like
Exactly. Do you remember like, when you like the whole social media craze came in? You used to have to get the credit sticks to stick in your laptop, and it was €20, and you'd go on one website and the thing was gone.
I know, yeah, it was very
Like
bad.
how? Like how?
Or like
did that
how
happen?
how the internet used to appear on your phone like years ago, like it was all mad, like it was
Yeah.
it wasn't
The world, the little
what
world.
do they call it? I forget the name that they use for it, but it wasn't responsive basically, so it wasn't designed for mobile at the time. So
Right.
anyway, copy photos. Yeah, you weren't able to reshare photos, so you had to basically copy them to your computer and then re-upload them. Like so, if I
Yeah.
seen a picture on your page, I'd have to copy it and re-upload it. Like it was fucking shy.
Yeah.
I
Do you
think
remember like when you used to have to go out and take pictures and you'd have to upload you couldn't select
Oh,
what you
hundreds
wanted.
of pictures.
You couldn't select if you wanted to delete them. I remember there was more than years ago on junior night. My friend, there was a picture of us having a piss in the alley, but our whole fucking flap was out, and it got uploaded, and like our fucking thing was on Bebo, and it got, like you said, copied and pasted and shared around, like, and we couldn't delete it.
Yeah, because some other
you
people
have to
copied
upload
it.
it, yeah.
And then Bebo skins, yeah.
Yeah, Bebo skin. Like I remember, I was a little weirdo. Like I didn't have the popular ones. So my favorite color is orange, so I used to have like Fanta ones because it was orange.
Really?
Yeah, like I always wanted to have the pink Playboy ones, like, and the sparkly ones, but I couldn't, like, because
Couldn't be obvious.
yeah, it couldn't be too obvious. Like, not that I probably should have just in anyway, but like, so I went with like fucking Fanta ones, and like now when it was Christmas, I'd have Santy ones.
Oh God, cringe.
I know, but I really wanted to be having the Playboy ones, but I couldn't. So.
I remember some of the Playboy ones, and like they were so like shit and corny and
Do you
like
remember when, like,
pixelated.
Do you remember the ones when like it was like all the flowers and the vines and all? Like
Yeah.
when the like quotes started coming out, like it was a quote and all. Oh, Scarlifies all.
When I had a fella before Garrett's, I was only with him for like a couple of months, like, but I made a skin that said "I love my boyfriend" and giant. Like, I actually cringed now thinking of it. Like, imagine me doing that now on my Facebook page.
I know.
I love my boyfriend with like a picture of me and
I'd
him.
be like, get over it.
Cringe. I
Fair
used to be able
play
to
to you.
make skins.
Yeah,
I
it
found
was
out how
like
to make them.
yeah, I learned how to do it, but then I just didn't keep it up.
Then the next one is Bebo Stunners / Girl Next Door. Yeah, so
Yeah.
all the like contrast, like super saturated photos.
It was like, yeah, to me, a Bebo Stunner girl would have been like black hair with the blonde bit in the front, right? out to that one little strip of long extensions.
Yeah.
Conceal our lips. Fucking thick as that, and eyelashes with the black smudgy
Bet with
liner
mascara,
around
hair
it.
bet with the hairspray.
And then like a white tank top with a pink push-up bra under it.
Yeah.
Like, and the tan sitting on top of her chest like scales.
And then you used to be able to like put gifts on your picture, like little glittery things and butterflies and all. I was the same. I'd love to see. Do you know what? I'm actually raging like the Bebo got deleted because some of the pictures on that.
I swear to God, like the fact that even they thought about bringing that back without the pictures, just fuck off.
And then creative spelling, so like the way people used to spell, like uppercase, lowercase.
Yeah, it was like fucking.
What the fuck was that?
It was like hieroglyphs.
It was like hieroglyphics, yeah.
But like, if you gave me a sentence in like Bebo talk, I'd read it like that, not a bother.
It was like, yeah, and it was the same on MSN. Like MSN, that's the story.
Backwards numbers, like a backwards 3 was an E.
Oh yeah.
Like you do like a small O and a big 0, like for a number 0. Like like hello would be like a small H, a 3, a small L, a big load of capital L's, an O and an O.
How long that would take to just type hello?
I know. Or even, do you remember like years ago you'd have to be typing like, you'd have to be like shift uppercase in between all your like.
Yeah.
It was fucking ridiculous.
I know, we have it so easy.
I hate
now.
when people still Bebo talk to this day. Like when people say tat instead of that. You know what I'm talking about? When people say tat instead of that, just put a fucking H in it. It doesn't take it a second.
I can't remember the last time I heard someone say BRB. Or right back.
And I used to cringe when people said LOL. I'd be like, I'm scared.
I still say LOL.
I say LOL about 500 times a day.
There was times where I didn't know what like them abbreviations meant.
Yeah,
like WID,
I
LOL.
remember OMG. Like I learned what OMG was on Bebo, and I'd be like, what are they all saying?
Or LOL.
Oh.
LOL can mean lots of love as well.
Someone's ringing me. Right, we have to quickly move it. Brittany update. There's not a lot going on, but she's just ripping her sister around her. It's so good for her. Love Brittany. Moving on.
Yeah.
The night out we went. So right, we have to talk about this. We went on a night out and we planned on it being a sober night. We were like, right, grand.
That was never gonna happen.
Enya went for dinner and she was like, I had a pint.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I didn't drink the Friday night or the Saturday night.
No,
so
you were
like,
good. Yeah,
I'm
you were
not
like,
up
I have a
early
sober
on
weekend.
Monday, so fuck it, I'll go for a drink. And then we ended up going to the George, and Bob's your uncle, Mary's your auntie.
Yeah, and fucking.
We had a great night.
We had a ball.
You spent a fortune.
I spent a fucking fortune.
And we made loads of friends as well, didn't we?
Yeah, we did a ball. That was a good one. So the next topic is cost of living. Like that's what I'm spending off of that. The fucking price of a night out lately is wild. Like
it's absolutely ridiculous. Like it used to cost me €90 to fill me tank, and now it costs me €115.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Why? Like why is everything like? What's the crack with inflation? Like why is everything just going up? And it's like,
I think it has a lot to do with like COVID as well, like, and you know, people not making their money. And
well, then they should match people's wages to that.
Yeah,
like if things are going up,
that's what the argument is. Like they should be matching the cost of living to people's.
I saw
salaries.
that tweet. It was like average rent is like 1,400 and like the average wage is 1,700. So like, how the fuck are they supposed to survive on like what's that, 300 quid to spare each week?
Garrett's friend bought a house up in where he lives, up where Garrett lives in Clondalkin Village. 405 grand he paid for the house, and it's not even semi-detached.
That's $500,000.
Nearly $500,000, yeah.
Are you for real?
He was in a bidding war. That's what you had to get to, yeah.
Oh,
it was originally priced at 360.
No.
So an extra 45 grand that person
I feel like
got.
if you have a car, to me it makes sense. If you have a car, I'd move 25 to half an hour outside Dublin. Not about that. If it's gonna cost,
if it's close to a motorway,
saving you fucking 200 grand. Well then,
it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, me and Gara, like, good luck. Like, we're lucky we have that granny flat and we have our own little space. But like, we're not probably going to get out of there for another 3 years. Like, do you know what I mean?
No,
it's
but like
ridiculous.
it's like you're only short of having to give a human sacrifice.
And then people that are noticing a big time are the people who are paying rent and like are going out to the likes of Lidl and Aldi and looking for the cheapest option. And even the cheapest option has gone up in price.
It makes you wonder, like, what are the government playing at? Like, what is their plans if like they're making it impossible for young people, like us millennials that are in this like bracket of 28 to 34? We're like the most unhoused age group of all. Like we're either still at home or whatever, and it's because it's ridiculous. It's the cost of living is wild. Like, sorry Sharon, when you were fucking 22 and 19, I was splash, it was like $2 grand to have a gaff.
I
like,
know.
do you know what I mean?
When you're gonna get your own house, like, we are in probably one of the worst positions ever,
and especially if you rely on the fucking social welfare or anything like that for anything, it is like getting blood out of a stone. No joke. Like, it is actually ridiculous. So yeah, fuck that shit. Enya had a good topic here she wanted to talk about. It was the pressures of content creating.
Yeah, so like I know a lot of people who probably have a platform can relate to this, or someone who's thinking about starting a platform, but like you're coming up against competition like every week or every month, you know, like people who are coming onto the scene and they might
They're fresh with it, like,
like they might be more creative than you, and sometimes you just have to accept that.
But
Like
you're a few years into it, so
yeah, like you're struggling to think of ideas some weeks, and then you have someone coming along and they're like fucking getting an extra 10,000 likes or whatever, or views, and like you're thinking, Jesus, where am I going wrong? So you do feel like that pressure, but then again, you don't want to be putting up shy for the sake of it.
Exactly. You want whatever you're putting up, you want it to have.
And I've always stood by that rule.
yeah.
Like I'm always like, oh, I'm gonna put up a video when I have a really really good idea and I know it'll do well. And it is, you know what, I think you just need to go at your own pace. Like your day will come. I've noticed a good few people now in the past who've literally broke the internet and like, you know, ended up getting like 300,000 or 400,000 followers, and it was just from one video that like just went viral. You know, and I think
you just
like
keep pushing it, it'll happen.
Yeah, I think like that as well. And it is, you have to be coming up with fresh stuff all the time, even if you're just putting up stories, even if it's a meme. Like you have to, like, just to keep people engaged. Like that's a tip as well for anyone thinking of starting a page. You have to post consistently.
Yeah, you do.
You have to
that's
stand
like
out.
the way we feel about this podcast. We know it's gonna get there. Like we heard our numbers today and we were like actually shocked.
Yeah.
Like, so we're delighted. So we will keep pushing and we will keep it going.
Yeah.
But then like on the other side of that, I feel like the listeners as well, like they put a lot of pressures, like your followers and stuff like that. They like if you don't post or
feel like
we
they
don't do a
forget about you or
podcast,
something.
like now we're like, where is it? Like, or they're quite demanding. A lot of people can think they can just tell you what to do or what to talk about, like, or that's not the way it works. Like I understand we do take opinions and suggestions off of people, but don't message thinking you can just tell us what to do, like, or we're just gonna, like, it's same with you, like, talk about this, do you know what I mean? Like, no, it doesn't work like that.
Or like, will you make a video about this? And I'd be like, that would never work.
Yeah.
Like that just wouldn't be
It
funny.
just wouldn't sell, like, yeah. And then I actually had a funny one we wanted to talk about. Like, were you ever in a scrap?
I was as a kid, and then there was times on nights
What
out.
did you say?
I was as a kid, like, you know, like stupid little fight over a fucking swing on the road or something.
She
But, like,
goes, I was close enough to a few scraps in my life.
yeah, I was close enough to a few of them grown, like going out.
I was
on nights
nearly
out.
in one.
I was nearly in one. I'm just not the type that goes around
No,
looking
I
for
can't
fucking
see,
trouble,
yeah.
like, or like the. Like,
And you'd pick up and run.
yeah, like some people now, like, they just can't hold that tongue and they get themselves into scraps, you know what I mean, on nights out or whatever. But like, there's been some nights where, like, yeah, someone would turn around and say something smart, like, whether they fucking know who you are or not, like, and yeah, I just don't even give.
Sometimes
like,
people need a dick. That's the
yeah,
truth.
they do. No, because you think you're not gonna fucking speak back up to them.
Yeah. What about like your siblings or like your mum or that? Like, were you ever in scraps with them?
I was in scraps with my brother, yeah, like, fucking.
Oh, me and Aaron literally like knives and all nearly, like.
But as you get older, like, it's
Yeah.
more like verbal abuse than physical abuse.
No, I'd say in the last 4 years, I'd say me and Aaron had one or two.
Really, yeah. I've never, like, gone near me ma or aunt. Jeez,
No, I've not. I wouldn't be. My fucking
myself.
nanny battered me. I don't know about you or anyone else out there, but like, I was from a child in the 90s and I had a grandmother rearing me, and she was from
like,
the flats, so like.
Mothers were terrifying.
Yeah, like my nanny like used to like literally get the sweeping brush through the banisters to try to trip me up and all. Like, she'd be like, get down here.
Oh, you were
cunt."
saying that before,
Or
yeah.
like if I was like getting cheeky or anything, she'd be like, I'm not going out, and like my friends would knock at the door and I'd be like, I'll be out in a minute. She'd take me by the scruff and go, I said you're not going out. Get in. And she'd be like telling him, God, he's not going out. I'll be out the window. I'll be down in 10 minutes. Like, my nanny absolutely handed me my arse loads of times. Like, literally.
I just don't think
me.
there's any fair in mothers these days. I think there's like, I think mothers are mollycoddle their kids too much these days.
I don't think like I was so bald like that I was out bringing trouble to the door or like I was doing that. I just had a cheeky attitude, that's all it was. I just had a mouth on me, so my nanny would literally clatter that cheek out me. It didn't work, but
yeah,
she tried.
No,
did you ever get a slap off, Emma?
Yeah, my ma, Jesus. But I was only saying to you before we were doing the podcast today, when my ma was going through the change, she was a fucking wagon.
Yeah,
like I mean wagon. Like, she just used to scream all the time. Like, I remember there'd be times where I'd like wake up in the middle of the night violently sick, and like the next day, you're going to school, and then my dad would be like, Kathleen, like, she was fucking vomiting rings around herself last night. I don't care. And then like
what is that with mas? Like, if you're like dying sick, literally you'd have your hand in your head in your hands and be like, she'd be like, you're not getting off school, you're down. They wanted that was fucking 2 hours peace, like, or whatever.
Oh, they wanted you on a fucking stretcher, getting bleeding.
Didn't believe you, like.
Yeah. But now, like, they're just are threatening them with Childline. Ring Childline. Ring fucking Childline.
We used to ring, this is terrible, we used to ring Childline as a joke. Me and all my friends.
My friends used to do that.
Take the chip out of your phone. And ring
'Cause it was a
Thailand.
free number.
Yeah, because it was a free number. Like ring. That's like what were we all
I
on?
know, yeah.
Weirdos. So Enya came up with a good topic for Would You Rather. So Enya has a load of Would You Rathers, and I'll read one side and she'll read the other, and we'll just shoot them off.
Right,
That's
so
definitely-
I'm
and we'll
going to
answer
ask
quickly.
you first.
Okay,
Where
my
are
side.
we? Here we are. Right, so be 10 years older or 4 years younger?
4 years younger, 100%.
Why?
Because who wants to be 10 years older?
You could be a lot
Like, wait,
richer.
10 years older, like, and looks the same?
Well,
10
let's
years
just
older
say
mentally?
10 years in life. Yeah, 10 years forward in life or 4 years behind in life, if you know what I mean.
Oh.
So would you rather go back to 4 years ago in your lifetime, or like fast forward 10 years and see like would you be making more money?
It's a bit of a catch-22, but I'd probably go with the 10 years now, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I thought you meant look-wise.
Same. I think financially, like I'd be in a lot better position like in 10 years time.
Imagine if you weren't though and you could see in.
Well, I know I wasn't 4 years
And
ago anyway.
you're on your fucking gay and Bambo Street.
Right, you go.
Would you rather have lived in the 1870s or the 1970s?
1970s.
Yeah, probably the 70s, yeah. But where? Like,
Did-
California, not fucking...
You'd have no quality of life back in the 1800s.
There was no even Kildare in the 1970s.
And women were treated like dirt
Yeah,
back
that
then.
was.
Like, I know, like in Ireland, they were probably treated a bit like dirt in the 70s, but like, imagine like that was when like all hippies and all were around and Woodstock and everything. The music from the 70s was brilliant as well. What did they fucking have back in the 1870s? The flu?
Yeah. I had a flu. Go on.
Always have to enter rooms by announcing your name, or always have to do cartwheels.
I'd say enter the room announcing your
Hello,
name.
Jordan.
Hang on,
here, girls, I have to
girls,
go.
I'll see you later.
Straight into the fucking wall.
A backhand spray. Have nipples for knees or knees for nipples?
Well, having boobs is nearly like having knees, but
Yeah, like
imagine falling on them.
yeah, that's imagine having a nice little set of knees in your bra, like, or like having the pure breastfeed, like out your knee, like stand up there, son, have a good suck. Go on. Go on.
Live without music or live without movies?
Oh, live without movies. Couldn't live
Yeah,
without
I
music.
think I could live without movies. Yeah.
I make me life as a fucking
Sorry,
movie.
that wasn't me to answer. Go on.
Have really small hands or really big feet.
I look like a T-Rex.
I'd
with
have
small
really
hands.
big feet. I already have big feet.
I don't like. I
Not
think I
you,
have big
like-
feet as well.
I'm a size 12.
That one of the things I'm in. You're a size 12.
Yeah, my brother's a 14.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ!
I'm a 12. Like, I can fit into shops.
I think he can scratch his nose with his toe, can he?
Yeah, the length of it. Like, literally Bigfoot.
I
go on.
think, yeah, I'd rather have small hands.
Yeah. No, I'd rather have big feet.
Right, so, what's this one? Have a magic carpet that flies or your own personal robot?
Have a magic car that flies. I have
A
my
magic
personal-
carpet that flies.
A magic carpet.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like the personal robot would get offended at the things I do and then end up murdering me or something.
Yeah, I don't trust
Like,
robots
oh,
at all.
that whole AI intelligent,
Yeah.
like, that is freaking me. You know, you have one fucking, what's her name, Sophia?
Yeah.
No, she terrifies
agenda.
me. Like, I know. She was like, can you ever destroy humans? She's like, I am not a human. I don't want to destroy humans. Humans are my friend. Like, lies are her ass.
No, they're programmed. I'm
She's
telling you.
on the way.
See the way some people don't trust a vaccine? I wouldn't trust a fucking robot.
Do you know the way it was dinosaurs, then it was humans, it's the next it's going to be robots. Like,
Yeah.
100%.
Right, it's your turn now. We'll do one more.
Where's that one? Have to wear a clown wig or a clown nose for the rest of your life.
Oh,
A clown wig. At
a
least you can
clown
straighten
wig.
it.
At least you can put makeup on and all like that. At least you can
No,
just straighten
you
it.
can straighten it if it was a wig. I'd have that thing
To the
styled,
flow,
thing
to the
laid
flow.
and all. I'd have that.
Babby Joe.
I'd have that thing and a half up, down and all.
Here was another one. So, only be able to whisper or have an incredibly loud voice. Hey, little lad, let me whisper.
You'd be. Hey, little lad, let me whisper it. Yeah. I think I'd something real sexy about whispering.
Yeah.
Like, hey, do you want a coffee?
And now here, like, I wouldn't want to be on the Titanic and only be able to
What
whisper.
would you do if you're in fucking.
Come back.
If you're in a nightclub, you'd have to be signing.
Yeah. You'd have to learn sign
Like,
language. You
yeah.
actually would. Right, so that's it then, is it?
Yeah, well, this one says go to doctors or go to dentist.
Go to doctors or go to dentist.
Go to
Depends on what
dentist.
problem I have there.
Yeah, go to dentist. Fuck that. Keep it clean.
So last topic, so
So
over.
What are you so over?
See you and the sniffles.
Are we home?
I'm so over Jordan sniffling now.
I have sinusitis. For everyone that doesn't know, I have sinusitis, so I'm constantly congested. So that's my problem, right?
I'm so over tapping my card because by the time you check your fucking bank the next day, you're like, oh my god, it's literally like, it's not good for you. It's literally not good for you because you think you have all the money in the world and then there's nothing worse than tapping it and it's like, sorry, that's got to getting declined.
Yeah, like that was like
and
me
you
on
have a mini heart attack.
That was like me on Sunday night. Like literally, here I was like, might as
It's
well have been like
dangerous.
that, shelling it out like it's wild.
And especially when you're drunk, you're not even thinking. You're just thinking, right, I hope this taps. You're not even worried about how much it costs.
No, and Scarlett, like if you do you ever be in Lidl or something and your card, like I'm aware, like if I have €100, I look at stuff and go, oh bollocks, like if I have to put something back, I'm mortified.
But do you ever feel, right, say something came to €101, you have €100 on your card, you feel like, yeah, I have money, like there's €100 on it, it's just I'm short €1.
No, I wouldn't even. I'd die, but I'd have to put something back.
Going along the queue and showing
I wouldn't be
everyone your
looking
balance.
for someone
Look,
to like, yeah.
I have €100.
I wouldn't be looking for €1. I have someone like I'd put something back. Would you not?
And I wouldn't ask someone for €1 now.
I'd be like, hang on, let me run out to the car, but I'd die as well.
I actually remember I was getting on a bus in town and like again it was when I was on my fucking hole and like I had to decide whether I wanted to get a coffee in town or keep my bus fare, but I was on the way home and like it was when I used to always kind of cheat the bus, like I used to always give the wrong bus fare.
Everyone does
so
that.
say I had to pay like $2.30 home from town and I would only give $1.80, which was like the standard fare, and he goes, it's $2.30, where are you going?
He knew me.
No, he goes, where are you going? And I was like, going to Clondalkin. Yeah, it's $2.30. And I was like, oh, I don't have like the 50 cent. And then he goes, well then you won't. Yeah, you're not getting on. And then the fella behind me goes, here, I have the 50 cent.
Oh my god.
And he was the same age as me and he knew who I was. I was absolutely mortified.
Stop here, come here. There was nothing worse than when you paid the 130 like and sat down and then you got to the stop and they were like, yeah, you, this your stop, are you getting off? And I'd be like, oh no, like my auntie's after ringing me, I have to go out, she's after falling and breaking her back, I have to go down and help her. Like, why are you going to tell me to get off? My auntie's after breaking her back, fuck off.
She's about 20 kilometres from home. Hope you have your walking
yeah, but she's gonna have to
on.
wait. I hope the ambulance is on the way. But like we were little weirdos when we were younger. Like we used to have like never pay for the bus. Like we used to have little skits and things
Chancers.
ready. No, we used to have little ideas and things ready. Like the bus would come and I'd be like getting the bus and I'd be like, oh, have you got that bus? And he'd be like, no, I thought you had it. And I'd be like, no, you had it. And then we just look at him and he'd be like, right, come on. But then some people would be like, right, well, off you pop.
Yeah,
and
some
I'd be
people
like,
had
you're
no
gonna let
sympathy.
two kids now.
Someone having a shit day and taking it out on you,
Yeah,
like
scumbags. Right, well, I'm so over show offs. So Sunday night, someone just showed off like unnecessarily, and it just rubbed me the wrong way. So just showing the fact that you have, yeah, it's between me and you. Just showing off, like who cares? Like I don't care where you're from, what you have. Like fuck off.
I am
what you showing
Russia.
off for? Instant turn off. I could have got it on that night, couldn't I have? And I just was like, yeah, no, turned away.
Like I don't like people like that who put pictures up as well, like with them holding the fucking Belvedere vodka and all, and it's like you're 33.
Like go on,
get over yourself.
Yeah, and you have a fucking box bedroom that you don't change the sheets in. Shut up,
Yeah.
like fucking Phil.
Right, anyway, that's gonna wrap it up then for today. Thanks
Until
for
next time, you guys.
tuning in, and again, if you have any suggestions, any funny stories, let us know. Ciao.
Adios.